Hello my dear students. Today we are going to start our new chapter, that is chapter 7, the green plants. So, the very first topic of this chapter is leaf. I hope you all are aware of this term leaf. As you can see in this plant, these green structures, these are known as leaves. And my dear children, as you know that leaves are one of the important parts of a plant. Now you will say how? Then let me tell you that these leaves, they are actually the food factory of the plant. They prepare food for the whole plant. Okay, so let us start with the chapter and its first topic, that is leaf. Most of the green plants, they have leaves in them, and dear children, do you know why these leaves are green in color? Actually, they have a green colored pigment in them. A green colored pigment that is named as chlorophyll. Right? It is the chlorophyll which gives a leaf its green color. So, and as you know that all leaves are not of the same kind. Different plants have different kinds of leaves. Different types of leaves are there in different kinds of plants. Now let's come to our second topic of this chapter, that is types of leaves. As you can see here, I have collected various types of leaves for you. See this leaf, this size and shape of this leaf. It is quite elongated. This one is a leaf of a lemon tree. You can see the difference between the shape of this and that leaf. This leaf is of a pomegranate plant. This is of a neem plant. And this leaf is of a ashoka tree. Okay, so we have different types of leaves around us. They all have different sizes and different shapes. Alright, now let me just tell you what are the different parts of a leaf. You should be aware of the different parts of a leaf as well. See dear children, this green whole broad part, see, this complete green part is called as the leaf blade. What we call it? The leaf blade. Okay, this whole green broad part is called as the leaf blade. And now you will ask, ma'am, here is one tube-like structure going right from the mid of the leaf. What is that? Now let me just tell you dear children that this tubular structure that goes from the middle of a leaf is its main vein. Main vein. This vein carries water and food from the roots and from the leaf to different parts of the plant. Okay, so this is the main vein, and these are the side veins of the leaf. See, small little veins are arising out of it. These are called as side veins. As you can see in this picture given in your book, the leaf blade, the main vein and the side veins. So these are the three major parts present in a leaf. Apart from that, if you look carefully, you can actually see small holes in a leaf. There are tiny pores, or we can say tiny small holes present in a leaf that are known as stomata. Okay, these small tiny pores which are present in a leaf are called as stomata. Okay, and what these stomata do? They help the plant to breathe in and breathe out the air. Breathing, like we have nose for breathing, these leaves have stomata for breathing. Okay, And you know what? These leaves, they need carbon dioxide to prepare their food. As you know that human beings and other animals, they need oxygen, but these green plants and these leaves, they need carbon dioxide for preparing food. Okay? So now let's come to the next part, that is function of a leaf. What are the various functions of a leaf? As I told you earlier that these leaves are called as the kitchen or the food factory of the plant. So the major function of these leaves are to prepare food for the plant. Okay, the very important function of a leaf is to prepare food for the plant. Second function is it helps a plant to breathe through the holes on its surface. Like we have nose for breathing, these leaves, they have small stomatas for breathing. So the second function of leaf is it helps the plant to breathe. Okay. Third is some plants such as mint, spinach, cabbage, they have leaves that can be eaten as food. Right? We have many plants around us whose leaves are used to eat, like mint. Mint is pudina, spinach, palak, and cabbage, bandgobi. These are some of the plants whose leaves are used to eat. Some leaves have medicinal value too. Medicinal means they are used to make medicines. Example, tulsi and neem. Very important and very much beneficial plants because these two are basically used to prepare medicines. Right, dear children? Next is, how do these leaves make food? How do these leaves, they make food for the plant? So, dear children, these leaves, they collect sunlight. As you can see, the sunlight is coming out of this coming from this window. Okay, and moreover they need some soil, some water. Okay, and then after absorbing all these things, these leaves, they prepare plants food. Whole plants food is prepared in these leaves, and the process by which these leaves, they prepare food, that process is named as photosynthesis. What we call that process? Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, right? So this is the process by which green leaves or green plants prepare their own food. It is the process by which green plants make their own food. This process is named as photosynthesis. Right? Okay, dear children, as I told you that these leaves, they have a green colored pigment in them that is called as chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll is also very much important for the plants to prepare their food. Okay, this chlorophyll is also very important part for a leaf to prepare the food. But you know what will happen if this chlorophyll is no more in a leaf like this? See, here in this leaf, some part of this leaf is without chlorophyll. See this yellow part. This yellow part has no chlorophyll in it. That is why it is yellow in color, because chlorophyll is always green and it gives leaf the green color. Okay, so if there is no chlorophyll in a leaf, the leaf will become yellow in color. It will lose its green color, right? So this is how this chlorophyll can be detected. If you see a leaf is yellow, getting yellow in color, then you must be able to understand, you should understand this, that that leaf is losing its chlorophyll. Alright, so this part of the leaf has lost its chlorophyll, that is why it has become yellow in color, right? And it can no more prepare a plant's food. Fine. Now let's come to the last topic of the chapter, that is interdependence of plants and animals. Interdependence means we both, plants as well as animals and human beings, we all depend on each other for our needs. Right? Now how we depend on each other? Because plants, they give us oxygen and animals give plants carbon dioxide. Right? And this complete chain in the nature always goes on. This complete chain, like green plants are eaten by some insects, some animals, and those animals are eaten by some other animals. So this complete transfer of energy is termed as food chain in nature. What we call it as food chain. See, here I have prepared a very simple food chain for you. Like the first part of the food chain is the green plants, the basic part. Green plants, they are eaten up by the grasshopper. Grasshopper is eaten by the frog, and ultimately the frog is eaten up by the snake. Right? This is how a food chain goes in nature. The energy transfers from one animal or one organism to another organism. So this is a complete food chain in our nature. That is why we say that we all are depending on each other. Animals depend on green plants, and green plants depend on animals for their various needs. Right? So this was all about a food chain. I hope this chapter is clear to you. Kindly go through its summary given on page number 60 of your books and do read it very carefully. You will be able to understand it more clearly. Thank you. Have a nice day.